Happy holidays.
Thank you so much for coming back, DJ. And everyone, I hope you enjoy watching video series number 1, 2 of the ADU. The last video we talked about the primary home, how to add a junior ADU, how to convert a garage to an ADU, and how to add a detached ADU into one lot, like 3 things in one property. And today, TJ gonna share with you about multifamily. How can you expand your duplex into something like fourplex? And he's gonna dive deep into the guideline of the county and the city and state. So now I would like DJ to start the section, and I hope you enjoy it.
All right. Thank you, MC. 2 weeks ago, when we did our last Facebook podcast here, we really focused on the single-family residential lots and what you can do with the new California state-mandated ADU guidelines. And I'm just talking with MC here a little bit on the side. You know, the state will allow you to put 3 additional units on your single-family home property. Okay, so I mean that's just phenomenal how you could turn your single-family main home into a fourplex. And there's something we didn't really talk about, but from an investment strategy, it is so much more cost-effective to build on your already existing lot or your existing property than it is to go buy new. I mean, if you follow the real estate market here in the Bay Area, it keeps going up. Homes, properties are selling for $1,000 per square foot, $1,200 per square foot. Okay, that's almost astronomical. Okay, it's almost out of character with the rest of the country. But as far as development goes, you can still develop your property at a reasonable cost per square footage, maybe $200, $300, $400 per square foot, maybe $500, $600, for really luxury, development, custom homes, luxury. So as you can see, you can increase your square footage at like half to, maybe only 1/4 of the cost for you to go buy. So it is still much more cost effective to build than it is to buy. And across the rest of the country, homes are kind of around $200 per square foot if you go into the Midwest, which is kind of more congruent in line with construction costs. But in the Bay Area, it's really out of balance. Okay. So that's kind of creating this housing crisis we have because just these astronomical housing prices. So that gets me to the point of the state has come up with these mandated guidelines to help people, homeowners, property owners, single-family homeowners to develop their properties because they already have, the state is becoming very pro-development. You already own the property. The infrastructure already exists. It's much more affordable, as I said, to build. Material construction costs are fairly still pretty reasonable. And if you really want to look at a streamlined turnkey solution, you can look at prefabbed homes. I mean, this will increase your property value immediately. As soon as you get your construction done, you can get some cash flow going. And now San Jose or the state has also mandated using Assembly Bill 1033 that you can sell your ADUs separately as condos. I mean, this is just phenomenal. Okay, I mean, this should be an investor developer's dream, okay, and a homeowner's paradise.
Yeah, so I just want to recap what you're just sharing. So DJ is sharing that if we build an ADU on our own home, the construction fee and stuff, it can go from $200 to $300 per square feet. But if you buy a new property, the cost in the Bay Area can be from $800 to $1,000 per square feet. So you see how much different, over 3 times different.
Yeah.
So of course, when we build ADU in our own lot, you save so much money. And remember, we can sell the ADU separately as a condo if you build that in the backyard of your own home. And today, TJ gonna give you more information on turning your investment property or your multi-unit, like a duplex, into another, like into fourplex or more, right?
Right.
So
we'll talk about
so TJ gonna share with us about it, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear it. That
Yeah.
means TJ put more money in your pocket in a way.
Thank you, MC. Yeah, I mean, what the state of California is doing is really, driving hard to address, the housing crisis, and what that means to you, the property owners, that the pendulum has swung to completely pro-development. So if you own a single-family residence, a single-family lot, please reach out to myself or MC. I mean, we are certainly here to help you, to take a look at it, figure out how you can maximize it. Get your best bang for your buck, return on your investment. I mean, we're really here to help. Okay, we really want to help you accomplish that. So now, let's shift gears a little bit. So we're going to move now from single-family residences to investment properties, duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes. Okay, so the state has also made accommodations for those investment type of properties. So I hope we don't lose our audience, because we're going to shift gear now to more on the investment property side, what we call multifamily. Okay, and as they have guidelines for single-family residences and developing ADUs, they also have guidelines for the multifamily. So if we could, can we get our production director here to switch over to the slides? Thank you, Vinny. So we already talked at quite length on the left side, where we were looking at a single-family residence and how you can turn that into a fourplex. But on the right side here, I'm showing a multifamily. Here we're starting off on the top here with a multifamily existing site plan. It's a triplex. Okay, there's like a 3-car garage carport, underneath the upstairs unit. What the state allows now is they're allowing up to 2 detached ADUs, which you can kind of see in the backyard of the proposed multifamily site plan. Okay, so now you can take a triplex, you can add 2 more doors, 2 more units, so now you're up to 5, okay? And they also allow 1 conversion type ADU, a minimum of 1 or 25% of the units. In this case, there's only 3 units, 25% of 3 is less than 1, but they let you round it up. So you can see they also allow a 1 conversion unit here. Okay, in this case, it was a 3-car garage, 620 square feet. I designed and put a nice, 2-bedroom, 1 bath in that. Okay, so this is really, really
Can I ask you?
progress, major progress. So we just turned a triplex into a 6-plex.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Because so from this screen, we all see that on the right side, we talk about a multi-unit family, and on the top, it's a multi-family existing site plan.
Right.
And that's the original picture when they have a 1-unit, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 780 square feet, that 1 unit.
Right.
And then where is the other 2 units?
Okay. Let me go ahead to the 3D graphics. I actually built the 3D model of this one. So if you actually take a look at this chart right here, which I assume we're still on, this was an existing triplex. There was only 1 unit downstairs, and there was 2 units upstairs. So you got unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. You can see the doors, right?
See.
But below unit 3, there was a 3-car garage.
It was a 3-car garage.
There was a 3-car garage.
I see.
So like I said, this started off as a triplex, but when I reached out to the city of Sacramento here, they said, oh, well, you can do up to 2 detached ADUs, plus you can do that conversion.
So okay, I got it. So from the top part of the picture, it's a 2-unit on the side. 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and
Correct.
then the 3 garage. The top upper part is another unit, the third unit, and then down below is a 3 garage. And then now, when the bottom picture, you convert that 3 garage into another ADU, right?
Correct.
That already one more. So all 3 garage now converted into an ADU.
Correct.
And
Garage
then,
conversion.
And then in the backyard, you add 2 separate ADU.
Two detached
ADU, and each of them have 350 square feet.
Correct.
So now you just two detached ADU, 1 garage converted into ADUs, plus the 3 original units. So now we have 6 units in 1 lot. My God.
Correct. So now you just doubled your number of doors on your rental.
So you have more
You went from
tenants.
Right. You went from a triplex to a sixplex.
So you had 3 tenants, now you have 6 tenants. So you have, originally you have 3 incomes, now you have 6 incomes.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yeah, you basically just doubled your cash flow.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Without even having to go buy another triplex. So, developing this triplex and putting 3 units on it might hit you at the tune of $600K or something like that. But to go buy another triplex in the Bay Area is going to be close to $2 million or something. So I mean, like you said, it's a 1 to 3, difference. I mean, it's
But
fantastic.
I see right here, TJ, the detached ADU, each unit only 350 square feet.
Right.
But the garage conversion, it's 620 square feet.
That's right. It's much bigger.
Big. It's a big unit.
Right.
Wow.
So good eye. Let me talk about that point just for a minute here. There are some caveats, and this is why you really want to get like a professional, get some eyes on it, myself, etc. After I dug into this a little deeper, it's pretty common that PG&E will place poles in the back, in the rear of the property. And you can see on this one here, we have a PG&E pole in the rear corner. Okay, well, when PG&E does that, what they also do is they also require what they call a public utility easement. Okay, and in this case, the public utility easement was 5 feet off of the rear property line. Okay, so that's non-buildable space that you own. Okay, so this is a caveat. Really pay attention, because not only did they have a 5-foot public utility easement, but they also wanted another foot off of that just for overhang and air conditioning units, hanging out your windows, this type of stuff. So in this case, you had to come back 6 feet off of the rear of the property line, okay? Versus San Jose allows 0 lot lines. But that gets superseded by any public easements that are on the property. So you got to be keenly aware of this. I'm working with a client right now, and I just reached out to the city of San Jose, and she also has a pole in her rear yard. And I said, I can guarantee you there's an easement there. Let's reach out to the city. Well, they came back and gave me the parcel map, the plot map, and not only is there one public utility easement, San Jose has something called a clearance, a wire clearance easement, so they slap another 5 feet on it. Next thing you know, she can't build within 10 feet of her backyard, of her rear property line, okay? When you got a 10-foot by 50-foot wide lot, you just lost 500 square feet of buildable area. That's a big deal, okay? This is, in this situation, I would say, it's kind of is this a go or a no-go? Well, now the unit's kind of small. We were looking at 1,000 square foot ADU in the backyard, but after that 10-foot setback, easement, it's like, okay, now we're down to like 600 square feet. It's getting kind of small, is it worth the opportunity or not? Well, these are the trade studies you need to make, but these are the things you need to be aware of. And also on multifamily property here, something I want to point out is this proximity to transit, okay? To approve building these ADUs, okay, especially like converting a garage, they will waive any parking requirements. You do not need to replace these 3 parking spaces for this 3-car garage if you're within a 1/4 mile of transit. meaning they don't care if it's a bus stop or Caltrain or, I mean, obviously Uber's everywhere, but they're talking about public transit, okay? If you're in close proximity to public transit, you can convert your garage without having to provide additional parking spaces, okay?
For a quarter of a mile?
That's incredible.
A quarter
of a mile is like 1,000 feet, right? So if you look at this one within a quarter mile, this one just meets it. It says the distance from the transit as the crow flies, meaning give me a straight line to the first bus stop, closest to my house. Well, this one was 969 feet. It's less than a quarter mile. So when I approached the city of Sacramento on this project, they had to have a little internal discussion amongst themselves because some people in the planning department wanted to push three parking spots on me, and some of them were saying, no, it's kind of meeting the guidelines. It's within a quarter mile of transit. We can't really force them to replace those 3 parking spots, so we're going to waive it. So they actually documented it that they were going to waive it, okay? And the same goes for these detached units in the back. Because this property was within a quarter mile of a bus stop, okay, they waive parking spaces, okay?
I don't understand because bus stop is everywhere now.
Well, this is why they're pushing urban areas. So a lot of these rules, this is how they ensure you're in an urban area, that you're not somewhere out in the country and the closest bus stop is, 2 miles away. Then they'll let you do the ADUs, but all of a sudden you have to provide that replacement parking. So let's say I converted a 3-car garage. Well, now I got to build a 3-car carport or something somewhere on the property, or I have to provide, 3 additional parking spaces on the property. And when you're starting to build like 2 detached AUs and converting a garage, you can run out of parking real quick, So parking is an issue. And I'm glad you brought up this public utility easement because it kind of skinnied down these ADUs where is it worth it or not? Well, if you're doing a prefab and you can drop something in there quick and, put almost a mobile home back there and then put a wall up and say, okay, I just quickly created 2 detached ADUs like a duplex and they're sharing an adjacent wall. Okay.
So they're
economically feasible.
In this case, because of the public, what did you call it?
Proximity to transit is what they call it.
So the transit is the bus station and what else?
Train station, any cable car, any place where you can pay a fare. VTA in California. I mean, here in the Bay Area, it would be VTA. It would be a bus stop. It would be Caltrain.
Okay, I see. So the people who live there would use that transportation, so they might not need a car. That's why we don't need to build more car garage.
Right. So the goal is to get people to commute and get more cars off the road, which is I totally agree. It's a good thing. I hate driving in traffic myself. I don't mind driving, but not in traffic.
I see. That's awesome.
So this is what the state has done. So to get more people to commute. They've also put this little restriction on here called proximity to transit, meaning, bus stop, VTA, Caltrain, because they want to encourage people to commute. So, i.e., as you just said, you don't need a car.
That's awesome.
If you can commute to work, jump on the bus, then that's what they're trying to promote.
That's really awesome.
Okay, which is right. It's a great thing. If you need help, let me know. I will check your property. I will let you know how close you are as the crow flies. I will do the calculation for you and find out if any of your development projects are going to require additional parking, because that's a big thing. You can run out of space very quickly.
I see.
Especially if you have a multi-unit. Anyways, do you have any questions on this? Because I want to move on to
I'm good. I'm
analytics.
good. Go on. Really clear.
Okay. So now let's back up here a little bit. Let's look at these duplex and multifamily properties. Let's look at the development standards. On the left, we have the San Jose City Development Standards. On the right, we have the California Development Standards. Okay. And last time when we did the single-family residence, we talked about this little note that San Jose publishes with these standards is they say you must choose either all city standards, so you go down the city route, or all state standards. So you can't mix and match them to your liking. Okay, you have to decide, am I going to go the city route or am I going to go the state route? And there's pros and cons to both. So, you know, we already talked about it for single family, so let's jump to the multifamily.
Yeah.
To the duplex and the multifamily. Okay. So one of the
By the way, DJ, we have only 7 more minutes because of so make sure you can go through that in 7 minutes.
Yeah, I got 2 charts here. This one and this one we'll talk about, and then we'll gear up for next week to talk about SB 9, which has 2 provisions, allows you to split your lot as well as build a duplex on each lot. So it just gets better and better. So
oh my God.
So make sure you come back. You don't want to miss that. Okay. So this one will be of more interest to investors that own duplexes and multifamilies. Okay. So as I said, you either go down the city route on the right or you go down the state route on the left. Pros and cons to each. Okay. First thing I want you to note is that when you go multifamily, they completely drop a junior ADU. Okay. Pay attention. Completely gone.
No junior ADU.
No junior ADU, because a junior ADU is kind of considered shared housing, you know, like converting a garage, sharing the kitchen, the bathroom, whatever. It's kind of shared housing. So when you get to multifamily, no, there is no shared housing. These are completely separate, independent living units, typically with their own utilities, etc.
So in the
junior ADU is gone.
In the previous case, when you convert the 3-car garage into a unit, 620 square feet, is that no longer a junior ADU?
It is not a junior ADU. It would fall under, in the California State Development Standards, right at the very top, there's a category for conversion, meaning an existing structure or space. So I'm converting that 3-car garage into an ADU, but is not considered a junior ADU.
It's just a conversion.
It's a conversion. Now, if you look at the single-family residences, you can see there's 3 categories. There's detached, attached, and junior ADU. Well, that junior ADU column now is gone because it's a multifamily investment property. They're assuming, you know, these are completely independent, standalone units that you're developing, that you're building. There is no junior ADU. You're not sharing housing, utilities, et cetera, HVAC anymore. Okay, so they completely dropped the junior ADU, which is, for me, is hooray, because the junior ADU does have deed restrictions and it does have owner occupancy restrictions. Okay, so it makes sense. They don't expect owners, you know, landlords, to be living on their property just so they can have a junior ADU.
So just want to summarize a little bit here. So junior ADU only apply to a single-family home.
Correct.
And when you have a single-family home and then you convert, you can add ADU and create a junior ADU. And junior ADU is just that you can use the same electric clock with
Correct.
The main
Meters,
house.
right?
Yeah.
Shared housing, basically, bathrooms, et cetera. So it's much quicker, rapid development.
And it less money.
Very much cost effective.
But it also require owner occupied to do junior
owner
ADU.
occupancy and a grant deed restriction. So I don't necessarily advocate them, but definitely it's a quick way to get up and running. And if you plan on staying in your property,
when you talk about grant deed restriction, can you say a little bit more about that?
Yes, the grant deed restriction. Okay. I think I have a chart on that. Let's see. I guess maybe it's after this right here. Well, so what it is they specifically require owners, okay, to, if they're going to build a junior ADU, they specifically require, here it is, the junior ADU owner occupied. San Jose Planning, I reached out to them and they confirmed that an owner occupancy and a grant deed restriction is required for junior ADUs, okay? They gave me a website here. And the gist of it is they want to prohibit the sale of the junior ADU separately from the sale of the single family home.
That makes sense.
Because remember, now they're allowing you to sell your ADUs as condos. But they're saying, well, hold the phone.
Not the junior.
Not the junior ADU. Because that's just kind of like a garage conversion. You're sharing stuff in the house.
It makes sense.
It's not really separate. So they also want a statement that the grant deed restriction is going to be enforced against anybody else who buys the house. So you're going to have a deed restriction also on your property when you sell it. And that's going to notify the new owner that there's a junior ADU, and that house has to be owner occupied. Okay? And the only way to get rid of the deed restriction is to get rid of the junior ADU, tear it out.
So I just want to make it easy to remember. So when we have a single family home and it owner occupied and we convert a garage into a junior ADU, that junior ADU cannot be sold separately because it's a junior ADU and it's share electric meter and stuff like that.
Right, shared housing,
and, and in the future, when we sell the property to the new owner, that property also has to be owner occupied. It cannot be an investment.
Correct. But it follows the new owner.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we don't like, right?
Right. If you're going to buy that as just an investment property, you don't plan on living there, but you have a junior ADU there, okay, now you're mixing apples and oranges.
So we have to pay attention to this one. So if somebody buying a home with a junior ADU, they have to understand that has to be owner occupied. This is a good one. I need to understand this.
It's a good point, yeah.
And then for investment property, there is no junior ADU, even though you convert a garage into an ADU, but in that case, you have to have a separate electric meter and water meter for that garage conversion, and then it's a conversion garage, standalone garage. Right. Standalone ADU, so you can sell it.
Right. I mean, you can, like my investment properties. Okay, they do share sewer. I only have 2 water meters coming, not 4. So there are some points that you can share. It doesn't have everything has to be completely separate. Literally. There are some things you can share and pay, but now, if you want to sell something as like a condo, well, then you probably do want to have separate meters for everything. Okay?
So in the case,
separate address and meters.
So go back to the previous example, the 3-unit, right? That's an investment for sure, right? For example, this 3-unit is an investment property.
Correct.
And then if I convert that 3 garage into a 620 ADU. With a separate meter, electric meter and water meter. And in that case, I can sell this ADU separately?
Okay, now you're asking a question about a multifamily. Can you take your ADUs in a multifamily property and sell them separately as condos?
Yeah, that's my question.
Good question.
Because
we'll get back to you that on next time, okay?
Because we run out of time anyway.
Because obviously that is a major windfall for investors if they can take like a triplex, turn it into a 6-plex, and then sell them all separately as condos. I mean, that's a major windfall for any investor. So I'm in. I'm all in.
Okay.
I'll be the first one to do it.
So we have to stop right here. Oh my God, this is wonderful. I look forward to the next video, TJ. And everybody watching and listening, I can't wait to have TJ back next week to share with us if we convert that garage into an ADU. Can we sell it separately? Right. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Right. Yeah. For multifamilies. And I have a feeling the question is probably no. They're already being generous enough in letting you build all these units. They're probably not going to let you create this condominium complex, but it's worth asking because obviously I'm all in.
Awesome. So I'm so grateful that you are here and share with us all your knowledge, TJ. You are so great. And by the way, TJ has so much knowledge and he hand on all this project himself and he knows so much about ADU. And I can't wait to hear him next week, and also after this ADU series, because next week we in the last episode of the ADU series,
fifth series,
But after, I think in January, he will come back with a different series, and it's about investment, right?
Right. Investment strategies, investment basics, investment strategies.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that either. He's gonna keep putting more money into everybody's pocket if you're just listening to him. That seems amazing.
That's right. We'll talk about helping you generate wealth in the real estate industry. Okay, and we'll lay it out as simple and easy as the ABCs.
Okay,
and I can come up with some plans and programs that are guaranteed to be successful.
And remember, TJ have an engineering background. He's been working for engineering industry for many years, and he retired from it.
Right, 30
He
years.
has like 3 different engineering degrees. That's crazy.
Right, yeah.
That brain is really big. It looked like that, but it's huge. Anyway, can't wait for him to come back next week. So I look forward to. But next week we're gonna do on Thursday, right? December 5th.
I think we're gonna
No,
switch
December
it
12th.
to 12.
So the Voice of Pacific Y next week. TJ will come back on Thursday, not Wednesday. So I hope to see you there next Thursday, and with the answer for my question and more. We're gonna talk about the SB9, right?
Correct.
SB9.
Correct.
So see you next time.
Right.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays. See you
Bye.
next.